Aloha. Today we will spend time on the first part of the Beginner's Yoga series, and the first part is we'll do the standing poses. This class will be an hour, so you have the advantage of having the beginning from the beginning to the end. So the most important things, of course, is a good mat, and I would invest even $30. You can get the good ones for $30, not too spongy, not too thick. This is a manduka, which is very heavy, not really for carrying around. You can get the travel mandukas, but it's very solid for when you get ready for headstands and handstands. You see I have two bricks here. These are the smaller bricks. You have the thicker, the width is bigger, and then a small or a larger blanket, depending on, for sitting on if you need something a bit higher. And then a bolster is also something we'll use later, but not in this class. So very simply, you have a mat, two bricks, and a strap. You can order these offline, something that's easy to use and that holds. These are rather good. 8 foot is good. This is probably a 6 foot, which if you're not very flexible, probably an 8 foot is better. So we'll start with using our mat. If you don't have a mat at the moment, then, or a blanket, then just go ahead and this will serve as a second spine. And your head will come on it. And you see I'm just tucking it right by my sacrum. It acts like a second spine. We're going to get into our breath here. So always slowly bend your knees to the side and then slowly come back. Head on the blanket. I'm lifting up, lengthen my spine, and as you can see, my buttocks are on the mat. This gives us a second spine. If you don't have the blanket at the moment, don't worry about it. It's just extra nice. Opens the chest, arms by your side. See, my knees are falling in and I walk my feet out. So we get into the breath, very important. 3-part breathing. So you can put your hand on your diaphragm, a hand on your belly. And we'll start slowly, 3-part breathing. Relax your belly and puff it out a little bit as you inhale. And then inhale to diaphragm. Inhale to chest. Pause. And slowly exhale through the nose. Hands are nice. You can feel the breath come into your body, the oxygen. Inhale, navel. Inhale, heart. Inhale, chest. Close your eyes so you can feel the body. You can feel the breath as it's coming through your nose and releasing it out through your nose. Inhale, exhale through your nose. Inhale. Inhale to heart. Inhale to chest. Pause. And slowly exhale through the nose. So I'm taking time with this so I can relax. I can release the day, get into my body, closing my eyes. You can also, if this is not comfortable, stretch your legs out. One more time. Inhale. Inhale. Relax your shoulders. Inhale. And exhale slowly through your nose. Now you can try without your hands. Now we'll slowly inhale. You see I have my shoulders open, my palms are up to the ceiling. Inhale all the way. deep breath. Pause at the top. Relax your spine. Exhale to heart. Exhale to navel. And release. Inhale. All the way up to the shoulders. Pause. Exhale. Exhale. And exhale. Inhale, nice deep breath. Feel the side body opening. Maybe feel the breath coming into your back as you open up, inhaling. Pause. Slowly exhale through the nose. Exhale. And exhale, release. Take a couple of more breaths here. Bringing in the oxygen. Comes in through the nose. Part of it goes up to the brain. Oxygen, very good for the brain. And then coming in down the back of the throat into all of the systems of our body, balancing them out. So acidity levels, parasympathetic nervous system, the nervous system, all of the parts of the body, the oxygen is coming through. We have nadis, they're called channels, pranic energy, where the energy goes into these nadis and open up. So sometimes when we feel slow and we feel lethargic, we can really do with a few of these inhalations. One more time. And exhale, release, all the way. Bend your knees as we slowly roll all the way off the mat, the blanket. Bring your arm right over to the side so we're coming completely on our side, and then push ourselves up. So push yourself up, we'll open up the same blanket. We just fold it. We can have it under our knees. So if you have problems, of course, we can do modifications if you have problems with your knees or your wrists. Otherwise, we'll just put a thicker blanket underneath. Knees are underneath the hips. Arms, palms are flat. Shoulders are over my wrist. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Make sure that the heels are not out or rolling in. I look at my knees, make sure I have a space between the knees. I look back to my heels and make sure my heels are even. Look at your hands, middle finger pointing straight ahead. Thumb is straight, pinky is straight. Press down on your palms and straighten your arms. We're doing cat-cow. Inhale. Thread your chest through your shoulders. And exhale, navel to spine. Round your shoulders. Inhale. Bend your elbows. Thread your chest through the shoulders. You can see how my spine, how my tailbone lifts and gives this little indentation. And exhale, round. Let your head go, navel to spine. Inhale. So several of these. Exhale, round, let your head go. Is that we're moving the spine, so take your time with this. That we're slowly warming up the body, straightening your arms, and then rounding navel to spine. So you can really feel the pull of the navel to the spine. Inhale. Thread your chest through your shoulders. And exhale. This time we'll come back almost to the knee, up to your heels. Keep it going. Bend your elbows. Thread your chest. And exhale. Round your back and stretch back. So I'm not sitting on the heels, I'm lengthening my spine. Inhale, bend your elbows, Thread your chest through and exhale. Round the back. Stretch back. Pressing down on the tops of your feet. And then coming up to center. Look over your left shoulder, squeeze your left hip to your left shoulder. Bend your elbows, squeeze right hip to right shoulder. Left hip to left shoulder. Right hip to right shoulder. So you can see what I'm doing here with, I'm working my spine like a happy dog, moving my hips and working the spine the other way. Come to center and then work your buttocks around like in a figure 8. Anything that you can move side to side. And roll your shoulders, let your head go. Anything where we're getting into, maybe you pause, you feel you need more of a stretch one way or the other. And as we come into down dog, we're bending our elbows, thread your chest. It's easiest if you stretch one leg behind you to lift yourself up into down dog. Check your feet, that your hips width apart, turn your heels out, bend your knees, look up at your hands. Middle finger pointing straight ahead. Stretch your thumb and index finger. Bend your knees over your middle toes and stretch your heels for the mat. Keep your knees bent. Unless you have the flexibility, it doesn't change your back. Normally what happens if we come up on our toes and we straighten our legs, then our back rounds. Much better. This is all about lengthening here, lengthening the spine, letting the head go, turning the heels out and having the knees bend a little bit. Building strength on the arms, make sure, look up at your hands, your thumb is great. We go back to our patterns and tendencies. Lift the right leg out behind you, bend that knee, roll over to the left, look under the left side, bending your right knee and stretching that leg up to the ceiling. Extending the left heel down and bringing that foot back to center. Coming back to center, stretch the left leg out behind you, bend that knee and roll over to the left. Lift the knee up. You might look under the right side for your foot. Stretch your leg up and bring it alongside. The other. Walk your hands to your feet to your hands. Forward bend. Rolling up here, roll up, roll up. Stretch your arms up to the ceiling and exhale. Come on down. Bring your arms to the side. You can remove the blanket, bring the bricks up to the top of the mat. And first of all, we'll check out how we're standing. Root your tailbone down. Lift Uddiyana Bandha. We have these, we call them bandhas, these locks here. This is Uddiyana Bandha. Mula Bandha is lower. Uddiyana Bandha and Jalandhara Bandha. We'll go into that later. Right now, lift your toes, stretch your pinky for the mat, and then stretch your big toes towards each other without moving your feet. And make sure here that you're rooting your tailbone, lifting up, and your ears are over your shoulders, so look straight ahead. Shoulders are over your hips, and hips are over your ankles. Inhale, stretch your arms up. And exhale, forward bend. Bring your arms out to the side. And if you need to bend your knees a little, let your head go. Let's keep it going. Inhale, stretch up. Look up at your fingers and exhale. Forward bend. Inhale, lift. Stretch your hands up, straighten your arms and exhale. Arms by your side. So very important as we stretch up. Inhale. Stretch your right arm up. Look up at your fingers. Stretch up, so now we're lifting up all the side of the body and stretch down on the right foot. Release, and I'm doing the same with the other one. Stretching up and pressing down on my left foot. And again, so now we're climbing, pretend you're climbing up the sail here as we climb up the mast, as you stretch each side. Stretch it up. Now we're going to bring that left hand down, all the way down to the side of the leg, and stretch over. Look under that top arm. Inhale, windmill, and stretch over. You see that I have my fingers straight, arms are straight, stretching that bottom hand down to my knee, and opening up. Pressing down on my left foot and all the way here. I have an extension here with this arm straight, so I'm not bent over, I'm straight. You can't bring it all the way over, bring it up here. And again, one way and the other. So we've got that length. We're trying to create length in our spine, length in our side body with all the sitting we do. We don't shrink, it's just we get compacted with the spine. And so this way we're lengthening and opening, forward bends, backward bends. So now we'll come to the front of the mat. I'll turn sideways so you can see me. I have the bricks at the front of the mat. Stand here for a moment. Check where my weight is over my arches. Press down on the center heel. Lift my toes and then place my toes carefully back down. Inhale. Stretch your arms up. Stretch them forward. Now, instead of leaning back, your hips are over your heels. Press down on your feet. Look out, as I am, over the ocean. And bring your hands down. Hands down onto your bricks and step back with your left foot. Step your left foot back. Bend the front knee and out. This way you have space between your feet. And slowly bend the front knee, bend the back knee, and come on up. You might feel a little unsteady. If so, step out so you have more space. Lift the back heel up and exhale down. Inhale up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale down. Now you notice my torso is straight, I'm not leaning forward, and bending that back knee. Make sure my knee is over my ankle, if not walk that foot out, and we'll get strength in our knees. Bend, stretch, and bend. You see the bend here, my torso is straight, up, and just bending the knees. And then, as we come into Warrior One, we can go ahead, put that heel down, and not open up here where the hip comes into the torso, into the leg, and inhale. Try to keep the hips facing forward. Stretch out, root on the back foot. Bring your hands down, turn your back heel up, and step up to the top of the mat, forward bend. Lengthen your arms, step back with your right foot, step back again and out, bend that front knee and back knee, and inhale, come up. Same thing. Bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend again here. If we can straighten that leg, if not, we come into warrior one, bend that front knee, and stretch your arms up, shoulder blades on your back, knee is over your middle toes, root on the back leg, stretch forward, bring your hands down, back heel up, step it up, forward bend. Let your head go. Hands on your hips, and inhale all the way up. Little balancing here. I'll stand off your mat, better off the mat, especially if you have a sponge. Spongy one, that's the reason why, if you can have a blanket instead of a really spongy mat. So hips are, the feet are hips width apart. Arms are better, we're trying to center here. We're in Tadasana, tall pose. Bring your hands on your hips, balance, inhale. Up on the roots of your toes, try to press on the root of the big toe. Exhale, come on down. We'll give you more balance. Inhale, press down on the root of the big toe. And if you overbalance, stay in that quiet place and come back and lift your heels. And come back down. One more time, inhale, up. And exhale, down. Good. We'll come to the center of the mat. Use a strap. Bring your strap wide, especially if you have tight shoulders. I have my thumb underneath. Doesn't really matter. Have it tight, taut. And you might have to widen it or shorten it. Inhale, lift. Try to bring arms as straight. Trying to open up the inner lining of the arm here that tends to foreshorten, the same as the back of the knee. So we need to open that up. As we get older, it tightens, it shortens. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, release. Release the strap a little. Inhale, up. This time, we're coming behind the head. Shoulders are back, elbows are back. And so I don't come forward this way. If you have to do that, stretch your strap out. Inhale, up. So we're opening the chest here and the shoulders. Exhale, down. And don't have your strap too loose, so it doesn't do anything here. Inhale. And exhale. Watch my feet, make sure I'm standing in the center of my heels, pressing down on the roots of my toes. Lift, and you can see my chest opening here, shoulders are down so they're not in front or too far back. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, forward. Good. Bring your strap behind you. Now I'm turning my fingers the other way, so my thumb is at the front, my fingers are at the back. Holding onto my strap. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. This time I'm lifting, coming forward, maybe over my head. And inhale, come all the way up. Good. Strap to the mat. Roll your shoulders a little bit. Inhale, squeeze, close your eyes, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And just let them fall down quickly so that you feel, with your eyes closed, you can feel the stress leave your body. Good. Open your eyes. You check, you have your ears are over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, and hips over your ankles. So you're in your core, one straight line. Good. We'll use our bricks, one each end. Aligning bricks in the center of the mat. Walk your feet out. The wider your legs are, yes, you'll feel it in the gracilis muscles, but the easier it is to bend your knees. Stretch your legs out, and then turn your right foot out. Make sure that the knee is over the middle toes, and that the toes are pointing out. You're in the center of the heel. Pigeon toe the back foot a little bit, and both legs are straight. And instead of turning here, we're trying to face your hips towards the front of the room. Watch your knee stays over the middle of your toes. Maybe this hip comes forward a little. Now I'm standing in Tadasana, so I'm straight. I'm not tipped one way or the other way. This is straight. Inhale. Bring your hands to your chest, fingertips together, and you open up your heart. Turn your palms up so your shoulder blades are on your back. Root on your legs. Feel the strength of your legs. These are the standing poses, Trikonasana, triangle. And then turn your palms down. And as we go towards the right, inhale. And stretch. Both legs are straight, keeping that top shoulder open. Keep stretching, stretching as far as you can. And even if you just reach here is fine. Stretch your arm up. So we keep an alignment here. If we come down too low, we're here, we stretch, and then we do this. So you can see the butt comes out, we roll that hip under. And it takes some time to be flexible then, so you need to not come down too far. And inhale. Stretch your arms out, bring your hands on your hips, pivot your feet. And the same thing, knee over the middle toes, pigeon toe the back foot, fingertips on chest, and open. Root on the back leg as you inhale, lift, and exhale. Stretch as much as you can. So we're into this hip here, rolling that hip back. You can even put your hand, roll that hip back to come deeper into the pose, and bring your hand wherever it comes. Open up the top shoulder, and the finished pose is looking at your thumb. Take a couple of breaths here, build strength. Root on the back leg. And inhale, and come up. Go ahead and pivot your foot, your right foot, towards the wall. Same thing as we come into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana B. And you can see my hips, I'm standing with both legs are straight. Inhale, stretch, and exhale. Knee is over the middle toe, so I'm working outward rotation and bending that knee. We tried to get it to 90 degrees. At first it will be very hard, so it doesn't really matter. You just try to root down through your heel, And straighten this leg. You can tell I'm pressing root of the big toe and the outside of that back foot. Also, we're not leaning, centered. Feeling strong. Warrior two, we are warriors. Strong. And let's inhale up. Maybe this time we can come deeper. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Watch the knee over the middle toes. Inhale up. This time we'll stay down. Stretch forward. I'll put my right elbow down. Inhale. And look up at that hand. So I'm looking at my palm, not sinking into the shoulder, lifting. Strong. And release and come up. Hands on your hips. Pivot your feet. Turn the foot out. This one is pigeon-toed. Bend that front knee and open your heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. This back arm comes back. Stretch over, Parsvottanasana, and windmill that arm up and over. A nice long line from the fingers right down to the heel. Windmill down and inhale, coming up. Stand with your arms by your sides, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Slowly open your eyes and look down at your feet. Press down on the root of your big toes and lift all your toes up. Even if they're not coming up, you might have to look at them. You'll be lifting your kneecaps and try to lift all your toes up. Press down on the roots of your toes. Standing on the center of your heel and release. So we strengthen your arches and the flexibility in your toes. It affects the way we walk. And again, stretch your toes, pinkies. And release. Now we'll another balance, tree pose. My mat is quite sturdy, so I've got a little bit of space here. Hands on your hips. Lift up out of that right leg. Quite often we'll lean on it to get that hip up. Make sure your hips are even. That's why we have our hands on our hips. Lift up out of that hip. Make sure the front foot is facing forward. Maybe we stand or walk a little like this. We're getting out of that out of that pattern and tendency, and to walk with our feet going forwards, because eventually this happens because of our hips, and so once we get our hips open we can walk in a straight line. Hands on your hips, right leg is lifted up out of that hip, and inhale. Make sure that we're not lifting that hip up, it's rolling down. Bring the knee up, extend the heel. Beginning of tree pose or Vrikasana. You can stay right here. And bring it out to the side. As we open up here, you'll feel the stretch. And then wherever your foot lands. If it lands on your knee, try to bring it down, or you can reach up, but preferably not on your knee. It's not good to put any pressure on your knee. We just check that we're opening that knee up, tree pose. Bring your hands heart center. And then you can always stretch your arms up, out. When you want more, you can always look up to the ceiling. Whoops, not today. And come back to center. Bring that foot down. Take a moment between each sides. And hands on the hips. Bend that knee. Out to the side. Remember to lift out of that hip wherever it lands. If you want to come higher, I would always say that it's not about where your foot comes, it's about the balance that you have. So work this knee out to the side. Bring your hands to heart center. And then if you want to lift up, stretch out. Maybe you want to change your gaze, looking up at the ceiling. And exhale. Hands to heart center and release. Let's just go ahead and a little bit of hula here. One side and the other. And so we'll come to seated with your strap. Bring your bricks to each side. And it's very good here, especially the main thing about seated positions, which are not easy, is because we need to strengthen the back, is when we straighten our legs out, we tend to do this. And so the best thing is if you have a bigger blanket or a bolster that you sit on, so that your hips lift higher than your knees. It's easier to straighten your back. We want a nice straight back for the seated poses. So first of all, we can hold on to our knees. You see the length here. If that's too difficult, you can always bring your bricks. Bend your knees so you're not doing this. Bend your elbows and lift your chest. Walk your hands forward. Maybe a little come up on your fingertips. Let your head go. And breathe. Inhale. Walk over across the right knee. Press down on your left sit bones. Inhale up and walk all the way over. Inhale and exhale. Just feeling the stretch in the right side of your body, that right hip. Keep that right hip down. Inhale up. And now we'll come and walk our hands forward. So the back isn't round here. We lift. Maybe you get as far as this, or maybe not. Maybe you just lift here. or if you're coming forward. Inhale up. And then so you can see better, I'll turn this way. On the blanket, stretch your legs out, extend your heels, open up the back of your knees. Again, have your bricks to help to lift your chest, roll your shoulders on your back. Extend your heels, toes up. Dandasana, seated pose. So we'll use our strap. There again, you might, if that's too painful with your legs down, you can put the bricks underneath. Bring the strap over the roots of your toes. Keep your elbows by your side. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, come forward. So the back is, once again, is straight. We're here and not here. And it's better to bend your knees than it is to round your back, because it's all about your hamstrings and the stretch. Let's flow with this. Inhale up and exhale forward. Inhale up and exhale forward. Inhale up and exhale forward. We'll stay there for 2 breaths. Inhale slowly and come up. We'll bend this leg, your left leg. Inhale the right arm up and just make a little cup here so you can hold on to your knee. And the back hand comes behind you, close to your buttocks. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. So the twist is coming right by the belly, around, so it's not from your shoulders. Lower that shoulder. You can look over the back shoulder. Inhale, come to center and change legs. Slide that foot up. Bring that back hand behind you so you're nice and tall. Stretch up and make a little crook in that elbow. Inhale, press down, lengthen your spine. And exhale, you can always hold on to the side of that leg to help you to twist. Look over that back shoulder. Soften your shoulders. One more breath here. Inhale, come to center. And release. Let's do a little core fingers behind your head for Lega. Boat pose. Lift your chest. See, I'm sitting at I'm not rolling back onto my back. I'm sitting on the back of my sit bones and lift one leg up. This might be enough. Down and the other leg. So we're working the core muscles here. Or maybe you try to. Hands come away, boat pose. Lift. Squeeze. And let's try it again. Lengthen. And bend your knees and let's come all the way down. Have your strap handy. Stretch your legs out. Bring your hands, interlace your fingers. Stretch your arms over your head and stretch your toes. Inhale and exhale, release. Bend your knees. Let's walk our feet out each side. Bring your arms to the side and let's allow our knees to fall over to the left. We'll look over to the right. Feel that length as we twist in the side body. Inhale your knees up and allow them to fall over the other side. Inhale, bring your knees up, hug your knees, and roll side to side. Just softening on the sacrum, the internal organs. And then you have your bricks. Bring the soles of your feet together, Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose. Bring the bricks angled underneath your thighs and allow your knees to fall open. Soften your spine so it's not lifted. Let you soften it into the mat. Bring your arms to the side. Close your eyes as we start to wind down. Press the soles of your feet together. This is opening your hips in a restorative pose. So this is very good. And I'll do a Relax Deeply class where we can do this as a restorative and take our time. It takes a time for these muscles to open up here and to release. Soften your spine. Two more breaths. Slowly bring your knees together, and then as we come into Shavasana, which is always very necessary after practicing, where it allows time for our muscles and our ligaments to integrate into our bodies and the breath. And so we take time here. Stretching out is very nice if you have an extra blanket under your knees or the bolster. And bolsters you can make or pick up from any of the yoga. And online, bring your arms out, palms up. And it's rather nice to have something under your knees to release your spine. So I'm coming to seated. And so as you're releasing and relaxing, you can just stay there and feel yourself, your body, sink into the earth. Feel your heels are heavy. Your knees are released and relaxed. Allow your spine to sink into your mat. Release your shoulders. Relax your jaw, your tongue. Peel the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Soften the back of your neck. The back of your eyes. Any thoughts that come into your mind, let them float away. Feel your breath as you slowly inhale and exhale. Slowly move your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms, maybe your legs. So you're really feeling that stretch from fingers to your toes. Bend your knees, hug your knees, and roll over to your right. Stay there for a few moments, enjoying the peace and tranquility you've created. And then when you're ready, press yourself up into a seated position and join me, hands at heart center, tips of the fingers together, heels of the hands, and we'll close with an Om and 3 Shantis. Inhaling. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Loka Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. May we all in the universe live in freedom, peace, and love. Namaste. Thank you. This is the first video of the beginner series. I'll look forward to being with you soon, and aloha. Namaste.